Ah, okay, the dimmer switch, avoiding the on-off trap. An old school of thought would contend that your focus on each type of wealth exists in a binary state, on or off. It would say that you can have at most two types flipped on at any point in time, and that the other three types would have to be flipped off. The fundamental problem with this is that if one remains off for too long, it can never be turned on again. If you don't nurture and cultivate your relationships in your 20s and 30s, you won't have them in your 40s. If you don't invest in your health in your 40s and 50s, you won't have it in your 60s. If you don't have take care, if you don't take care of your mind in your 60s and 70s, you won't have it in your 80s. The book rejects that old school of thought and offers a new one. If you have the appropriate goals, anti goals, and high leverage system, your focus on each type of wealth can exist on a dimmer switch rather than an on off switch. This shift is important. It allows you to prioritize your values and goals for the present season without turning off any one area, something that leads to atrophy and proves painful and difficult to reverse. Let's consider an example of a potential life arc to bring this new school of thought into focus. Season 1. You are just beginning your career. You want to establish a solid financial foundation and build marketable skills. Financial and mental wealth become the primary goals. Your anti goals are allowing time, social, and physical wealth to atrophy in the pursuit of these goals. So you adopt a few high leverage systems for maintenance. During this season, you dramatically improve your financial and mental wealth and maintain the others. Season 2. You are starting a family. You want to prioritize your relationship with your family, but worry that the progress you have made in your career and finances will suffer. Time and social wealth become the primary goals. Your anti goals are allowing financial and mental wealth to diminish after the progress from season 1. So you adopt a few high level systems for maintenance. During this season, you have the freedom and energy to be an active figure in your family's formative years. And while you may not have accelerated your career trajectory, you have certainly kept it from deteriorating. आजकल यही ज्यादा हो रहा है. सीजन 2 में ही लोग फंस जाते हैं. Your family is less of a demand on your time and energy. You want to prioritize your purpose and improve your health. Mental and physical wealth become the primary goals. Your anti goals are allowing social and financial wealth to deteriorate. So, you adopt a few high leverage systems for maintenance. During this season, you find new energy for life from your purpose imbued days and improved vitality. And your most important relationships and financial needs are preserved. Good. Season 4, now you're retired. You have managed to navigate a thoughtful dynamic balance across the seasons of your life and are ready to enjoy the fruits of your efforts. You want to prioritize your relationship in this final season. Social wealth becomes the primary goal. Your anti goals are allowing time, mental, physical, and financial wealth to meaningfully recede from the levels you have built in your thoughtful approach across the prior three seasons. So you adopt a few high leverage systems for maintenance of these areas. During this season, you find deep joy and fulfillment in human connection and flourishing relationship depth while the other areas are maintained at previous levels. You sail off, literally or figuratively, into the sunset years of life. See, these are ideal situations, extremely ideal. Practice करना चाहिए हर इंसान को एक एक चीज एक एक महीने. Season 1 this month, season 2 next month, so that it becomes a continuous process rather than waiting for those seasons to appear in your life. The concept of a dimmer switch should also mitigate much to the undue personal and societal pressure to make constant forward progress in every area of life. When my son was born, my wife Elizabeth was deeply certain of her desire to be as present as possible during the first 2 years of his life. But doing so would have meant stepping off the track as a star fashion designer rapidly rising through the ranks in a competitive industry. It wasn't a decision itself that was challenging. She knew what she wanted, but the weight of the external perception of the decision gave her significant pause. She felt the cultural pressure to be more, to make more, and to impress more. Cultural pressure to do more, to make more, and to impress more. Most of us are victims of this cultural pressure, societal pressure. लोग क्या सोचेंगे, लोग क्या बोलेंगे, लोग क्या कहेंगे. It was the same weight that I felt when I left my high paying job to pursue a different path. I endured the confused looks from friends and colleagues, the assumption that I must have burned out, and a comment from a mentor who remarked, "This will either work out or it will be the worst decision of your life." For both me and my wife, the idea that this was one season among many, that we could prioritize certain things and maintain others, was deeply empowering. Consider the mentality of surfers riding a wave. They fully enjoy this wave with the wisdom and awareness that there are always more waves coming. They know they don't have to ride every single wave that comes their way. ये होता है abundance का experience. When you feel abundance, when you know that you are already surrounded with abundance, this is what is happening. They are aware that patience and proper positioning are all that matters for when the next wave inevitably comes. Same with stock market. They know the only way to live is by putting themselves out there in the water because they can't catch any waves sitting on the shore. You need to adopt the surfer's mentality with respect to the seasons of your life. There will be seasons of growth and seasons of maintenance for each type of wealth. Enjoy each season for its individual beauty. Position yourself for future seasons according to your values and goals, and always place yourself in the water. Thank you.